Felt like an elder evil.
Carnival's animal crackers are supposed to be vegetarian. Oh, you broke in bed.
Is this kosher pineapple?
Sea glass. It's Sunday and I've come down to the shore to walk. I'm supposed to walk every day for an hour. It didn't say where though, and usually coming to the shore feels like cheating. It pleases me to think I got one up on them when I take my shoes off and half bury my feet in the sand. This isn't walking, it's shuffling. Through sand and bits of clam, driftwood, a shoelace wrapped up with a strand of kelp. Maybe my feet will find something today and make this walk really worth it. Maybe when I walk home and she's waiting for me to make sure I didn't goof off, I'll dig through my pocket and on the armrest of her chair I'll place it. So wonderful, so mysterious. And she'll smile and not notice that I was only out for 40 minutes and not an hour. Maybe it will come from far away. A note in a bottle, a locket, a sea captain's watch, or just a piece of rolling rock bottle, worn dull and round from the waves that carried and crashed it against rocks that don't care how far things come from. Maybe that will be my treasure, that little bit of Latrobe, bursting green when I hold it between my face and the sun. Maybe I will sit with it for a while, let the moon come up, see how that looks when I hold it up and my fingers trace the scratched glassy surface, absently looking for a beginning and an end.
Here we go. Red wax beautiful. The words are falling apart. The poems are lost to your daydreams every day now. But I am chasing you. I am chasing you. And all I can make out are those legs in black shoes. I am chasing you. And my path is the scribblings from a 5-year-old's hand, red wax beautiful, across the wall, silly children laughing, believers of bright dreams. I hear them less and less the further I run. I am chasing you, and I think you are smiling. You must be. I am chasing you, but you are going, gone. I think you are smiling. You must be.
Today. Wow. That was twice as good as when Billy Corgan sang it. Today. What do you think the dead will wear next year? Space line, space lion, space line. And yesterday. What did we wear last night when we undressed? And like binary stars waited to collide and collapse.
Bus people. The people, they are like eggs, with their hands folded, origami in their laps, and their eyes closed as if in prayer, almost like a doll, with glass eyes hidden behind pale, hard plastic lids, and eyelash bristles. To people like androids waiting for a surge of electric light. Could also be cadavers, propped up, only swaying, leaning, tilting, as the motion of the bus permits. Could also be mannequins. Could also be lost in a wildflower meadow, an abandoned shopping mall, a dimly lit bathroom at 2 a.m. Anywhere but there, sitting next to other dreamers, away from the noise of a ringing phone and the sound of a boss scratching a dandruff comb over, or someone else's children with banshee cries and crocodile tears. Or maybe the people are right here, bathed in the calm of the lack of conversation, with everyone who isn't them, but in a way now is.
Rosemary for remembrance. He lost you in the endless rows of olive-skinned trees, naked and shameless, before finding your teacups swirling in their lecherous fingers, spilling your ribbons to sting the dust-rotten bowl. The crows taunted you as, slinking past the bones of a pickup truck, he strained to hear you speak. He found you lying in the forgotten ravine, humming to your teddy bear, the nubs of your fingers and the flaps of your palms caked in cracked earth as you filled your teapot with day-old groundwater. You were watching the storm clouds cascade past the faraway hills, flooding the fields and drowning the crows, and imagining you could hear the waves crashing. He sat with you underneath the once shadow of the naked olive trees, picking the overripe stars tangling in their tremulous fingers to squeeze and smear light on your shirts and dresses, and promised to toast to your reverence together as you blew puffs of smoke like cotton, and pantomimed freshly fraught lies with every motion of your hands, twisted so sinister against the darkness, every crooked one. It was to the slow twanging of the sunken carousel that you set your memories ablaze and painted your faces black, the ashes sticking to your eyelashes. You were weeping when the ground collapsed beneath you, the ink scarring your cheeks and drowning your lips. You wiped the smudges dry with a sleeve and pretended not to hear the distant cries, calling you both in from the cold.
A blessing. In the backyard, the Oldsmobile that hasn't started in 3 months has become a table for men. They pour Cutty Sark over ice and day-glow plastic cups and talk car repair. I'm there too, 8 years old and almost completely deaf, hiding from the sun under the car and licking my hand for its salt. Their muffled speech comes through to me, Ron, 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 as though they're chanting a prayer to Ron, the god of auto repair. When I'm bored with my hand, I turn to watch their shuffling feet until their chant brings me peace. With the salt on my tongue, the valley heat, the smell of whiskey and cigarettes, the browning grass beneath me, and Ron's soothing blessing help me to drift off to sleep.
When I'm drunk, I treat parties like tuxedo dinners with foreign dignitaries. Back straight, composure mostly kept. The booze is a stirring stick that swirls and whirlpools my id and superego into one bubbly soup. Words escape me like white butterflies in badly patched nets. Easy ones, too. Names, kindergarten words, and, damn it, brain. I look at friends and females with my hands until I pull my own leash. Everybody gets hugs and secret handshakes. As the night inches along, 12, 1:30, 2:45, 4:05, I bumper car along the walls of the hallway, fixing any crooked pictures I crooked myself. Right hand slapping my own face to feel the unsensation. The most frightening thing is not the blurred vision, gangling limbs, rebellious upchuck stomach, or the patchwork memory. It's the fragile membrane that separates thought from speech, and intent from action, dissolving for a few dangerous hours. God forbid honesty be unleashed and left to run rampant. It's refreshing and damaging, all at the same time, just like the burning liquids disappearing down my gullet. Bottoms up.
If there's any love in me, don't let it show. I saw the way you looked at her last night. She wouldn't even glance your way. Why do you do that to yourself? You're so much more deserving than that. When she wasn't around, I grabbed you by the collar and told you not to get with abusive dames. I'm sorry if I scared you. I scared myself. I bought a new body wash today. The scent reminded me of you. The honey mango danced around my nose the way your cat paws around my lap. I'm allergic to mango and your cat. I hope you don't mind the smell, but I don't wish you to like it. Either way, it won't be tasting your effect on your honest nose tonight. I was in the middle of sending you a text message when your name appeared as an incoming call. Excuse me. I answered it and tried to sound as relaxed and friendly as possible. But it was just your tush calling me. He did that last time we had class. I don't mind. If my bottom had a mind of her own, I'm sure she'd call you back.
The view at 2 a.m. Sometimes when we're laying in bed, I like to look out the window across the bay to where the city is, up to where the lights spring up. They're all colors, and even though it bothers her to leave the blinds open, she knows I can't sleep in the dark. I like to imagine that the water is America, that I'm looking across an entire country to my city, to my lights, and that tomorrow when I take the train to work, when I push an elbow out into the platform crowds, I might see a face I recognize or that recognizes me. And maybe they'll nod and say something like, "Don't worry," or "It'll work out. You haven't blown it." I like to think that across those waves and buoys lies a place familiar to me, where I know the streets and won't get lost or even scared anymore. But the water is her country, and laying quiet next to her, watching her face catch the lights, I know it's them that are making her restless. They make me restless too.
Ramon with stories in his eyes. Ramon reminds me of my grandpa. Ramon with words that trail off like the kicked up dust from a man's shoe who was running back to him 30 years ago. He reminds me of my grandpa, even down to his walk and soft laugh. And so, when he speaks to me, I listen and look at him like I want him to remember me from when I was a little boy, with a striped shirt in yellow or green or some other color I wouldn't wear now. Ramon with the gray and white hair like tall grass on a hill that moves about in the ever so often breeze as he tells me the secret on how to start a conversation with my dad. Ramon with wrinkles at the edges of his eyes from a life of smiling. Wrinkles that make me think of maps to places he's been and things he's seen. Ramon with the stories in his eyes, explaining those maps that include hydraulic systems, the family of 13, and the cousins up north. Ramon of rooms patched with pictures filled with memories of work and the army and the trip to San Francisco with a beautiful woman. The red trolley there, her arm across the rail as she smiles. The smile in his eyes, the same one he has when he tells me, "Say hi to your mom and dad before I leave." I say I will, and as I walk away I look down at my shirt, checking for the yellow stripes.
Me. Another problem in describing orange. If I said, trying to remember when each falls into season, if I said citrus, could you recall the last time you had tangerine? How it fit into your palm that day you plucked it from the tree to gather your fruit? If I said cold, just what it felt like when you reached back behind the fridge, a thin layer of condensation over lemon zest that is rough smooth like the moon on some nights. If I said ocean spray, would you imagine instead the skin of an orange, peeled by a child's hand, a child with a small button of a nose, sensing the uplifting scent of orange spray? If I said marmalade, bitter, sweet, but not bittersweet. If I said Buddha's hand dangling from branch over branch. If I said orange rind dipped in chocolate whose name begins like the rind of an orange. If I said fiction, hope in juice, skin reaching skin, fragrant nights. If I said blossoms, honey, something like pollination. If I said kara, elegant navel, open hands, cradling a stomach, a baby born. If I described people spitting the seed out. If I told you how they swallow flesh, all they want is flesh. If I said good, let it be that way. If I said bad, this poem is finally in bad taste. If I said, oh well, bittersweet, it comes down to this. Do we want good taste or something that tastes good? If I said citrus, you should go and have some. Nevertheless, you should go and have some right now. Go. Go and pick some citrus. Pluck an orange, stack upon pomelo, mandarin, clementine, satsuma, or tangerine. Maybe even grapefruit, lime, citron, lemon, or sanguinello too. Mostly though, I insist on orange. Or if it were in season, go for the red. Not for the orange, but rather go for the red of a blood orange. Red, I said. But if I ruin dinner, let me excuse myself from the table politely, so I can wander into the kitchen where everything was wrong. Namaste, namaste, namaskar.
ants on the wall? They all breathe the same after a while on top, plugging away while you close your eyes or turn your head to find a nice wall patch, and staring with eyes open like a broken baby doll's, looking for chips in the paint or rips in the paper, or little pieces of tape that cling for dear life like a shred of memory that has been ripped off. Lucky you to observe a few ants that trundle past your sight in search of something sweeter, or maybe just looking for a way out.
Long day, good night. Tonight we test the politeness of the waters, dropping our hands. The nonsensical hiss breaks our concentration and we roll along the uneven floor, giggling. The ends of our deadened nerves blister and burst, spilling our maturity. Spices to flavor the meal we've somehow managed to ruin. The last 3 moons we spent trapped in this quaint makeshift crate, dancing to autonomy while our shadows gather dust beneath us, carving cave drawings all along the whitewashed walls, staring ourselves cotton-eyed, conjuring clouds on the ceiling. Shaped like morning, shaped like scars, shaped like thunder, shaped like God, shaped like clouds. Idly we ponder the secrets embedded in our naked spines, fingertips touched in indigo ink, tracing the sudden tremors in wide, seismic lines. Your neck is a hollow, bottomless trunk, untapping 3 times to hear the last echoes of your calm, considerate conflagration.
When I call, as I talk to her, I like to think of our paperback copy of Thomas More's Utopia sitting on the phone table. No one reads Utopia. No one has ever read Utopia. No one has ever wanted to read Utopia. Not even Thomas More. The only action it will ever see is when she absently flips the pages when she talks to me. When I call, I like to think of her doing that.
Yin-yang days. I have this concept of cosmic balance that guides me through my 9 to 5s, 5 to 7s, and 7 to 10 10s. It's the concept of the yin-yang day. More of a constant event or dreaded holiday, the yin-yang day guarantees that no matter how many missed alarms, extra homework, canceled plans, stubbed toes, or surprise bills that baptize my newly birthed morning, the evening will fill itself of rapid-fire jokes, toiletry battles, night walks, full stomachs, and persistent memories. It's a matter of balance. So, if I wake up one day next to my supermodel girlfriend, holding both winning lottery tickets, with 75-degree sunshine and a pleasant breeze rocking the palm trees, I'm going to grab my umbrella, shuffle outside, and wait for the meteors.
Exitless. Wallflowers are too pretty. She's the fern strategically placed by the hallway. People pass their way to slam the bathroom. The one debutantes empty all the wine and cheese they could stomach, never bothering to hold back their hair. The long groan of convulsions, the shudders of laughter. Madeline always notices the empty chairs next to her, the lack of physical matter pressing in on her, her nature abhorring the vacuum, the nothing lying its headless on a shoulder or a lap, or sometimes even across her chest. And so she stumbles, tumbling down the same hallway, unplanting frames and the photographs they've yet to digest, teetering on 3-inch heels that take root in the threadbare carpet, using locked doors to stay upright. In her imagination, Madeline chimneys up walls, to the sound of clawing. She resorts to bare feet and addresses the window. Hammer, knock, clink, unlock. Her hair windmills counterclockwise, picking up speed as she leans further out. And it's almost like flying. But now the void is starting to crowd her again. A million molecules escaping beneath doors. through keyholes, the hallway degenerates into a sinkhole, pulling Madeline back inside. There are cards to be played and drinks to be spilled, unwrapping and yes, more unwrapping to be done. Before the end, Madeline tries using words. With whiskey's sour breath, unfamiliar hands talk her into staying, planting her dead square so she can learn the phrase small talk again.
Oh yeah. Ow. Oh no.
Amen.
Amen.